Hi, welcome to today's tutorial. Recently I've been playing around with procedural textures within DaVinci Fusion and came up with this water ocean animation. I actually made three versions of this. I made that one, and I also did this version with some text that also walks through the ocean. So what I'm going to do, rather than do one long tutorial, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make the water in one tutorial. Then I'm going to do a separate tutorial on how to add in the girl, and then I'm going to do another tutorial on how to add in the text so that it doesn't end up being an hour-long tutorial. Okay, let's get into it. So the first thing we'll need is a Fusion composition. So go into your media pool right here, right click in a blank area and go create new Fusion composition, which is that one there. And we'll call it ocean. Once you've created that, drag it into your timeline like that. And because I'm lazy, I am not going to change the time. I'm just going to expand it out like this so it matches roughly what I did in my previous tutorials. Once you've got it down on the timeline like that, make sure that your bar is over the clip and then go down to the Fusion tab here, or there is another alternative. If you right click on that clip, you can go to Fusion that way. Open in Fusion page if you see it just here. So the first thing we need to do is go across here and add a background node. Take that background node and connect it into your media out. Clicking on the background node, go over to the right, and where it says solid color, we're going to change that to gradient, and we're going to change it to linear. Now for the first color, this one at the left hand side, we're going to click on here, and I've cheated. I've actually written down the colors I used in the first one. I'll actually create a cheat sheet so you can get access to these colors as well, and I'm going to put that in there. And for the dark color, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go into our cheat sheet and go here. If you don't want to use a cheat sheet and you want to use your own colors, essentially what I did was, you can see from here where I picked the colors from, and once I had a dark and a light, I just used this one here to make sure that it was in the same color range like that. The next thing I did was actually to animate the gradient, which is one of those features that people never think to do. Actually, before I do that, let me just pull this up. So you want to bring this up so it's about there. Okay, so we've got our gradient here. We're going to be animating the start and Y values just here. So let's make sure we go to frame 1. Create a keyframe just there like that. Make sure the dot's red. And say go through to say frame 40. Move it across like that. Go to frame 90. Move it down like that. And go to say frame 120 and move it back to its first position like that. We then need to go into the spline control tool just here. Make sure you hit zoom to fit. And then what we're going to do is we're going to select all of those keyframes, just give them a smoothness. And then we're going to go down to here where it says set ping pong, set loop. We're going to hit set loop. There we are. Now when we play it back, we get this. And the reason I did that was because it creates the effect of clouds going over the water and gives it an added depth and makes it look much more real. Right, for the next part of this tutorial, we're going to be using Fusion shapes, which sounds weird, but they're actually pretty cool. To get to them, you have to hit on your effects tab up here, go up to tools, and then scroll down, and near the bottom you'll see shape. Click on that, and what we need is an S duplicate. We actually need 2 of those. We need a S merge, an S engon, S transform, and an S renderer. So let's connect them all in. So we'll just connect them across like that. Clicking on the engon here, put it in the window by clicking on this small dot here like that. Let's get rid of this window here. And when you come up to the left, you'll see there's a tick box that says solid. We need to untick that. and it looks like it's just deleted it off the screen, but it hasn't. So untick it. Then where it says border width just here, this value here, we need to give it a very, very small border width. So we're going to type in 0.0014 and you'll see it'll come up on screen very, very small. Go down and where it says width and height, we need to change that to 0.05, 0.05. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take it and drag it across to the side of the screen like that and bring it down to the bottom like so. We're then going to go to our duplicate node, and again make sure you click on this dot here, because if you click on it and it's not in the window, you'll be making adjustments and you won't be seeing anything. So we're going to go into our duplicate node and we're going to ask it to give us 30 copies, and you won't see a damn thing because they're all sat in the same position. We need to offset it, so let's offset it in the Y. I'm holding the control key when I do this because it is very, very sensitive when you do that. We need it to be about there. Right, we then need to go to the next duplicate node. Again, put it in the window. Make sure this fits. And what we're going to do this time is we are going to give it 30 copies again. But we're going to offset it in the X value. Like so. Let's offset it in the Y and just bring it back on that X till you get kind of that shape there. Let's just bring it up again. Like I say, hold the control key when you're doing this because it is very, very sensitive. Right, so now if I add this transform in here, so remember to click on the window because I was just moving it then and nothing worked. And you can actually now move this up and down and you have a load of hexagonals which actually are going to make up the waves. Now before we go any further, what we need to do is actually copy all of these nodes. So let's just do this. Right click on one of the nodes and go copy. Come up into a blank area and hit paste like so. Now what we need to do is connect this sRenderer into the background node so it will create a merge for us. There we are. And now if we put that into our main screen, we get this. Right, the next thing we need to do is to animate our hexagonals, and the way we do that is we're going to go to frame 0 and we're actually going to pull this down somewhere like that. Make sure you've added a keyframe on the X and Y offset like this, and then what we're going to do is go to the end frame, and then what we're going to do is we're going to hit the X offset like this and the Y offset like this. So essentially our waves are going all the way down to the bottom like so, back there, and then bring the X back like that. So now when I play that back, we get this. To make it a bit more believable, we're actually going to add a node called a waviness node, which is cool, especially when you're creating water. And as you can see, it's already started to break it up and make it look pretty cool. The scale needs to be 48.8. The strength needs to be 16.5. The phase should be about 0.488. And make the speed low, like 0.087, something like that. And now when we play it, there we are. It's getting better every day. To make this more realistic, we're actually going to add in a blur node as well. So click on the waviness, go shift space bar. We're looking for a Gaussian blur, which I've already pulled up earlier. So just in case, just type in blur and you'll come down and you'll see it's just there. I'm going to add that. I'm going to click on it, go over to the left and change the strength to 0.465, like so. We're going to go down to this merge and we're going to change the blend mode to 0.567. And we're going to change it from normal to hard like. To add to the believability, we're also going to bring in a fast noise, which we are going to connect to the sRenderer and the waviness. Make sure you put it in the right hand window so we can see it like that. We're going to take the detail up to about 7.95 is what I had in the original. Come on, you bugger. There we are. We're also going to increase the contrast as well. Let's take that up to about... Where can we take it? Take it up to... Actually, about there should do. We need to mess with the brightness as well, just a little bit. Let's make that 0.086. We need to bring the scale way up, so let's take that up to something like that actually should do. We're going to change the angle to, say, minus 90 degrees. We're going to change the seeth rate very, very marginally. So just hold the control key and just move that. Oh dear. There we are, that'll do. And we're also going to, sorry, that's the seeth, this is the seeth rate. The seeth is the pattern that you see on screen, and the seeth rate is how much you animate it by. If you don't do anything with the seeth rate, it'll just remain static on screen. So again, holding the control key, we just need this very, very minor, about 2.5 or something like that. Oh dear. There we are, that'll do. Now, when we go to our media out and put it in the right hand window, you'll see we're starting to get the formation of an ocean. We need to animate that fast noise, so let's go here. So clicking on the fast noise, let's just go over to here. Let's go to the first frame. Create a keyframe on the X and Y. Go to the last frame. We're only going to nudge it a little bit, so let's take it down to say, about there. That'll do it. And now when we play it, you can see that it's interfering with the water below it, and it looks pretty cool. Right, it's time to do some work on our second set of n-gons here. Click on the n-gon, and remember this dot here, make sure it's in the window like this. We're going to change the size of that a little bit. We're going to make the width 0.094, and we're going to make the height 0.047. Let's just bring it down like that. We're going to go to our first duplicate, bring that into the window again with the dot. This time we're going to make 50 copies. We're going to offset them in the Y. This time they have to touch like that. Very hard. Make sure you're holding the control key when you do it. We're now going to go to our second duplicate just here. Make sure you've got it clicked so it's in the window like that. We're going to change the copies here to 40. And we're going to change it in the x-axis like that, holding the control key. And we need to go up a little bit in the Y, like so. And then come back on the X so we create this shape. Make sure they join. There we are, that's what we're after. What we're going to do on this transform is we are going to rotate it by -20. Like so. Make sure you've got it in the window by hitting that. So we want it to look like this. Right, we're going to go to the first frame. Make sure you're on the first frame. Go over here like that. Pulling it until it's almost off screen. There we are. We need to be about there. Hit a keyframe on the X and Y offset. Go to the last frame. And this time we're going to go move it from left to right and a little bit downwards, but not too much downwards. So there we are. Something like that. And then a little bit down like that. So that when we play it back, we get this effect. We're now going to take that and connect that into our first merge here. We're going to do exactly the same thing again. We're going to add a waviness node and we're going to add a Gaussian blur. So clicking on the S render, shift space bar, and we're looking for that waviness again. Ooh, got weld there, WAV. There we are, we're going to add that. First thing we need, we're not going to change much on this, by the way. We're going to change that from vertical, to horizontal, and then we get that effect. So let's add a blur node to that waviness. Click on the waviness, shift space bar, blur. We're looking for Gaussian blur again. We don't want to add much to this, to be honest. 0.6 should be enough. Like that. There we are. starting to look really cool actually. Look at that. And now we're going to add another fast noise. So let's give ourselves a bit of room here. This time we're just going to connect it to the S render. You can grab the end of it. There we are. So connect it to the S render like that. Put it in the viewer by clicking on that button there. The only thing we're really going to change on this is the position. So go to the first frame, hit X and Y. Go to the last frame, and we're just going to take this up to, let's have a look. Right there, that'll do. There we are. Now when we have a look, look at that. Very cool. Looking very real. Right, the only thing I don't like is it's looking a bit dark. So let's go to this merge here, and we're going to shift space bar. We're actually going to bring in a color corrector. We're not going to really change the color, but what we are going to do is nudge the gain up a little bit. Something like that. So it's looking very believable. I think it's time to bring in that aeroplane. The airplane that I used was just off Pexels. It was just a photo that I downloaded and cut out. I'll share a link to it below. So I brought in our plane, F2, because we need to call it plane. Good housekeeping. We need to bring in a background node to act as the shadow. So I'm going to bring that in, and then I'm going to connect that across like that to give us a merge. Bring our plane up like that and a background like that. Now if I put that merge in the right window like that, you'll see that the whole background's black, and we don't actually want that. What we want is to add a poly mask to that. So click on the background node and hit poly like that. And what we're going to do is zoom in and create a mask like this, because things underwater still have shadows, and it just adds to the believability. Make sure to connect it at the end. You'll get this solid black blob like that. Increase the soft edge to a ridiculous amount, so it's something like that. Very cool. Now we're going to add one to the other side, so just click on the spline and hit B-spline again, and then we're going to come to this side and make it slightly different. And again, soften that edge up so it's really like that. Now then, when I connect this merge into the background like that, we get this. And all I did then was I added a transform to that merge by just dragging it in from here. Here's the icon. So then I just dragged it over here, lifted it up like that. And then I went into that merge down here, and I just changed the blend mode way down. I also messed with the alpha gain as well, just to make it look like actually just the blend seems to work best there. So there we are. So we've got our ocean and we've got a plane crash. Truly the Bermuda Triangle. Hope you enjoyed that tutorial. In the next one I am going to be showing you how to put the fish in it. And then I'm going to show you how to get around the magic mask problem. And then finally, we're going to be putting some text in there. If you did like it, remember, go down, hit that subscribe button. And if you've got any requests, any tutorials you want me to do, please leave me a message. I do read them, and I will get back to you. Bye.